middle, we should go very high and the mind is elated. Oh, we should go today very high, but I should be prepared to put my 100%. So, how to explain that we put our 100% in the journey of moving from a seeker to a realization? My master used to say, use your intellect to change your life. Use your heart to change the lives of others. Use your heart to change the life of others, but use your intellect means what? Use your discernment and dispassion, not delusion and duality in changing your life. If you are using the delusion, then the world is suffering. No, but we are talking of peace, happiness. Oh, let us take an example of happiness. 5 plus 10 is equal to 2 plus 3 plus 10. Prove it. That is what the mathematics says. Mathematics gives a problem and simultaneously it gives you a solution. Now you have to prove it. So, how you prove it systematically, you get 100 marks. That is the journey of mathematics. So, we will have an equation 1 divided by 10, 1 divided by 20, 1 divided by 100. Do you see the equation? 0.1, 0.5, and 0.001, you know what, 0.01. So I'm summarizing all the 66 talks in the practices today. But in order to summarize, I should have some references that I remember, mostly the basic principles. And if I don't remember the basic principles, then this higher principle doesn't work at all. So let us have an equation. Happiness is equal to desire fulfilled divided by sub-desires needs to be entertained. 1 by 10, 1 by 20, 1 by 50. I'll explain you. And if you remember this, I believe that you will never lose the smile in challenges and problems in your life. If you remember means by intellect, you apply this by discernment and dispassion, not by delusion and duality. So what I said, equation, prove it. I told you mathematics. Huh? Parenthesis a plus b, parenthesis closed, square is equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab. You prove it. Mathematics gives you a problem and also the answer. So the way you prove it, you get 100 marks. Yeah. So we have a mathematical equation. What is that equation? Happiness is equal to numerator. What is the numerator? Desire fulfilled. Divided by sub-desires to be entertained. That is the equation. Prove it. You will, the moment you prove it, your mind will never seek the pleasure and happiness from the world outside, because the world is suffering. I'm laying a foundation. We have to prove this equation. I want to marry, I want to marry, I want to marry. And now your desire is fulfilled. Numerator, right? Now, what are the sub desires to be fulfilled? How my honey would behave. First sub desire. If I hug him or her, how he or she will respond. I will invite him or her to my house, how he will or she will respond. You see that these are the sub desires. One desire is fulfilled. I got married. Are you getting it? I like, so now you have 10 sub desires to be fulfilled. The desire of the marriage is already fulfilled. 1 upon 10. Did you understand that? Are you clear? Are you clear? Once you understand it clearly, I told you in the very beginning, my master used to say, you treat your life with the intellect. You treat the other's life with love, care, and respect. Means you have to treat the lives of others by heart. But you want to treat your life with the heart, you'll fall back into the delusion. You have to treat your life with the intellect, and that is why this mathematical equation is. I go to the restaurant, I order the food is lying on the table, desire is fulfilled. What are the sub desires? Whether the food would be the same taste as I had last week. There are minimum 50 sub desires with every desire fulfilled. So the equation is 1 divided by 50. The denominator is 50. So what is the degree of your happiness? Tell me. You apply anything. You give me an example. Oh, now I own a house. Next week, I have to call a plumber. Second day, I have to call an electrician. Oh my goodness, bathroom is clogged, what should I do? Should I replace it or should I keep it? Oh, this light is off, how can I give a lesson? Are you getting it? Solution is there. Equation happiness, or you can say degree of happiness or amount of happiness, is equal to, numerator is 1 desire fulfilled, divided by sub desires needs to be entertained, and I have to entertain. I own the house. Electricity is not working. Plumber I have to call. Faucet is not working. Does this happen or not? Tell me. You give me any example where 1 desire is fulfilled and you do not have minimum 10 sub desires is not there. So what happens? Desire fulfilled, 100% happiness. Hold on. Sub-desires needs to be entertained. You order a shoe from Amazon, desire is fulfilled. I got of my color, my size, my design. What are the other sub-desires? Whether it will fit. Oh, it's little tight. No, it's little loose. I have to return it. Now, this is what happens to Amazon. You don't get the right product. Sub-desires. I can bet you once you understand this mathematical equation, your delusion is gone. That world is suffering, 9 factors is included here. Are you understanding? Those out listening with video and without listening video, they should pay 100%. So equations suggest that happiness is equal to desire. Desire fulfilled is not a big deal. But divided by sub-desires, they run after me, needs to be entertained. I went to Mount Lemmon and I spent about an hour outside, and there was a heavy snowfall. What happened? You already seen it. For 3 weeks, I had to suffer. Some desires to be entertained. I did not go to the doctor, but Jerry suggested honey and ginger. Some desires to be entertained. Pay attention to it, and if you are listening to me for the last couple of sessions, you will understand it. When you get married, you may feel happy, but soon other desires related to marriages arise. Wanting your spouse to behave a certain way, wanting to buy a house together, wanting to have a children. Aha. And these sub-desires cannot be fulfilled. And even if it is fulfilled, 1 by 10, 1 by 20, 1 by 50, 1 by 100. Are you getting it? Say yes. Getting a job. Oh, I got a job. Sam, Sam is not here. Oh, I got a job, now I'm not searching. I applied 100 locations. But it also leads to new desires about salary, promotion, relationship with co-workers, boss, commute time. Divide it. Divide it. This is the journey. This is the 9 factors included together. The world is suffering. I have to treat my life with an intellect, means discernment and dispassion, not with the delusion and duality. The moment you start treating your life with the delusion and duality, it means the world is suffering. 9 factors are already there in your life. You are bound to suffer. Oh, I got a car of my desire. Desire is fulfilled. Next month, monthly payment. You find out 100, you try to explore. The moment one desire is fulfilled, how many sub-desires you are going to entertain, analyze through the intellect. Just analyze. Make a list. This big smile, you have one desire fulfilled, now will have a sad face. Think. Master says, they are great professors and great professors, or masters, great professors. The way they have thought of it, the way they bring the knowledge into our intellect. So that is why no desire that is fulfilled outside can give you 100% happiness. If yes, tell me any desire that you have got fulfilled and you have the 100% happiness. I didn't have the kids, now I have the kids. And when they grow up, they create a lot of problems. You give me any example. It is like a fraction where the numerator is the fulfilled desire, but the denominator keeps growing with the sub-desires, thus shrinking the amount of happiness. Shrinking. If you want the lasting happiness, you have to follow the Eastern wisdom. You have to discover the permanent happiness within you. It is not going to diminish. There is no denominator. Tell me if it is. I challenge you. Prove that this equation is wrong. But you prove this equation is wrong because you are treating your life with these 9 factors. Means you are treating your life with the heart. 9 factors. World is suffering. World is suffering. Let us see how these 9 factors are included here. I just pick up a desire, I am alone, living alone in a house. I have a good job. I get a good income. Live lonely. So the mind says, now find the soulmate. You are treating your life with the heart, unexamined life. I'm proving that equation. Do it with the intellect. So from the very beginning, you do it with the intellect. And then the second factor, scattered mind. What do you mean by scattered mind? Whom to choose. The one I have chosen, he or she doesn't give me any lift. And the one I have not chosen, he or she is chasing me. Did you see the scattered mind? I'm proving all the 9 factors. The word unexamined life, now the scattered mind. What is the third factor? Now I'm attached to, I gave 200% to a girl who doesn't give me any lift. You can apply any time, in any desire that is fulfilled, or any desire for which the mind has an imagined happiness. So 1 by 3. Fourth factor, emotional dependence. Now I move with an emotional dependence, but you don't give any weightage to that. Because my nature, my personality, my behavior, my understanding is different than yours. It has to be. Every individual is unique. So 1 by 4. But this, all the 4 is equivalent to 10. Make it 1 by 40. Now I get upset. Who gets upset? The ego, the selfishness. 1 by 50. I'm summarizing everything of the ignorance to wisdom and hammer the delusion today. Fifth factor, the ego has come. I heard, I got a message. My husband ran away to another state in US, bought a home and opened a credit card. Am I responsible if he defaults? Some desires to be entertained. That is how I got this idea to give you this lesson today. I said this is a very good. I got married to be happy. One desire get married to be marriage is fulfilled. And with the marriage, many more desires I have to entertain. Treat your life with an intellect, means with a discernment and dispassion ruthlessly. Don't treat your life with the heart. Emotional dependence, unexamined life, and etc., etc., etc. Are you understanding? Emotional dependence, selfishness. Huh? Selfishness, you understand that. Now, equation, desire, I told you. Remember, happiness is equal to or amount of happiness or 100% happiness. That is one side, right side, no, left side. In the right side, desire fulfilled, any desire fulfilled, divided by sub-desires to be entertained, pertaining to that desire which is fulfilled. House, I have to take care of the house. I'm living in my son's house. One girl who seems to be claims that she is very close to me. So I have to take care of the house. Or should I leave it on my son? So there are expenses. So-called the close friend told me how you are paying so much, it is better to live on a rent. You don't treat your life with the heart. Never do that. Contribute all the time. But she thinks that she is very intelligent. So if your intelligence, if your thought process creates a rift in the duality, it is better to leave, keep a distance with that friend. I've been telling you, treat your life with the intellect, discernment, and dispassion. I didn't say anything. I said, yes, 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 you're right. Let me think it over. I will start living on a rent. Sixth factor. So now what happens with all the five factors? Because you have started treating your life with the heart, with an emotion, unexamined life, attachment, strong likes and dislikes. So you are already started suffering. My son doesn't listen to me. House is every day, the house has one problem or the other. This summer is killing me. What are these statements? The sixth factor, the intellectual paralysis. You have fulfilled your desire. Sub desires needs to be entertained. It cannot be fulfilled. You will continue to have a problem and the challenges. So those sub desires keeps on changing. The seventh factor, after intellectual paralysis, eighth factor is world is suffering. Tell me, Dennis, if I'm wrong. So I can tell you, I can promise you on behalf of the Eastern wisdom that you will never have a sad face from today if you have digested and assimilated this principle in your life. Why? Numerator, one desire is fulfilled. Your intellect says sub desires need to be entertained, so you don't get emotional. You don't paralyze your intellect. You take care, you take care. Yeah, that is the way the life is. Look at it. So, desire, now understand what is the secret behind it. The secret behind it, desire means seeking something from the world outside. Seeking a boyfriend or a girlfriend, seeking a house, seeking a car, seeking a food, or any damn thing in the world, seeking something other than me. That is the meaning of desire. What is the second factor in it? What is the second factor? So now we are understanding, equation is happiness is equal to desire fulfilled divided by sub desires to be entertained. So now we have to define the desire. It's a mathematical equation. So if I prove it, I get 100 marks. So now I have to understand what is desire. So desire means seeking something other than me. Means I'm seeking something from the world. It may be a person, it may be a thing, it may be a house or a car, etc. But why I'm seeking? Because I'm sad, I'm frustrated. But why I'm sad and frustrated? So why I'm seeking something outside? Because I have projected and imagined happiness in the object, in a person, in a relationship, in a situation outside. That is why I'm seeking something other than me. That is the meaning of desire. Did you get it? Say yes. First, I have projected an imagined happiness in that beautiful girl, or you can say the handsome boy. I have projected the imagined happiness. It works at a very subtler level. Oh, look at this guy, so handsome. My mind says, let me give 200% to him or her. Now, this is what the desire is. Did you see that? But when you treat your life with the intellect, discernment, and dispassion, there is no chance. Still, you say, yes, I love you, but did you see? Again, I'm repeating. Desire means seeking something other than me. But why my mind is seeking something other than me? Because I have already projected and imagined happiness there. Is there an imagined happiness in life? So when I buy a car, it is an imagined happiness in my mind because of emotional dependence that gives me a short-term pleasure. But it has to be divided by the sub-desires to be entertained. How much gas is required, cost of the gas, monthly payment, repair and maintenance cost, etc. Gone. What is this? Delusion. From desire, we entertain delusion. We are not happy. Our happiness is short-lived. That happiness is imagined pleasure. Tell me if it is not. Don't forget this equation and prove it in your life. How can you prove it by heart? No. You have to prove it by intellect, by discernment and dispassion. That is the nature of the world. Summer is there, and then the cold winter is there. Everything, Today my body is healthy, and tomorrow it is not. It's a dynamic health and the sickness, a dynamic in nature. And behind that, there is a real self that does not change. That is the journey of Eastern wisdom. That is not at all impacted, affected, dictated, guided by these 8 or 9 factors. So, what happens? Your smile is not lost. Your peace is not lost because you are not running after the imagined peace, imagined happiness. Do you want to know why I say imagined? Or are you clear? Or do you recall the previous lessons? Desire fulfilled. I have a car at my home. Am I happy? Is it because of the car? If it is because of the car, then the car contains the happiness. Find out where the happiness is located in the car. That is why I say it is imagined happiness. Did I prove everything? But still there is a subtle aspects to go. There is another level of it. That we will take up later. So all the 9 factors, I have been repeating it. In the first category, the word is delusion, is you can find in one equation. And the equation is happiness is equal to does your mind repeats in the mind? Or you are still confused? That is the journey of our life. And then what happens? Those sub-desires never comes to an end. And then because of the intellectual paralysis, I am engaged in fulfilling those sub-desires. That is what I call life. And then I become a philosopher. Life is a struggle. No, you are crazy. Life is not a struggle. So, are you getting it? Because sub-desires, sub-desires will never come to an end. Your 5 desires are fulfilled, you have 1,000 sub-desires needs to be entertained. So 5 divided by 5,000. It will pop up in your mind. Today, if it doesn't pop up, tomorrow it will pop up. Now I have a son, he starts growing, then he has ADD. Now there is a problem. In US, I always heard, kids have ADD. Attention deficit disorder. Oh, he is hyperactive. But he's your son. Sub-desires are never fulfilled. And then life is a struggle. Life is full of pain and the pleasure. I become a great philosopher. I struggle hard. That is known as the world is suffering. We have to follow these teachings, because if I don't follow these teachings, it is not going to help me to bring an end to the suffering. Close your eyes now. Close your eyes. Being comfortable, posture, place, position. Now you see that your mind keeps looking inside. It doesn't go because the intellect is aware. It says, now let me move the mind inside. In the moment you move the mind inside, you are already comfortable and carefree. And then it becomes easy. You are comfortable and carefree. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Now, are you looking for an imagined happiness or the real happiness that is located within you? That's a very subtle aspect that I'm going to take up. We have another equation for that. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Are you aware? Are you looking for peace outside? Getting married or divorce or buying a car or a house or clothes or a food divided by? No, 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 no. That is imagined happiness. I'm looking inside. Oh, then peace is the essential nature of everything. Why to worry? Sarvesham, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sorry, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all. So you already know completeness. Imagined happiness, imagined peace, imagined love outside is a sense of incompleteness. So I already have a sense of incompleteness. My mind is already agitating. I'm not treating my life with the discernment and dispassion. I'm treating my life with the heart. Treat everyone by your heart with love, with respect, with care, with contribution. Did I not tell you? Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. And now looking deep inside the forehead, your body is already in the state of being comfortable. Mind is already carefree. You are in the state of the steadiness. All these things happens when there is no search for imagined happiness, peace, love, and wisdom. Om Shanti inside the forehead, and then start breathing into the rib cage. Resistance is there, endure it, and from the endurance, move to the joy of doing it. It can only happen if you are treating the practice in your life with the intellect. Here, the intellect is not the judgmental intellect, the intellect with discernment and dispassion, and the life is definitely going to change. I promise on behalf of the Eastern wisdom. Continue. Continue breathing into the rib cage. Continue breathing, continue dropping Om Shanti, continue to be in the state of the steadiness, continue to remain comfortable and carefree. That continuity in the field of awareness helps you to elevate or rise in consciousness. And there, the breathing works. Now stop this, become aware of the flow of the breath through both the nostrils. At the same time, you might have experienced the resistance, you bypassed with an endurance, and now you had a joy of doing it. That is going to help you evolve your mind. Now looking again deep inside the forehead in the space, Om Shanti, body is same comfortable, carefree steadiness. And then you start breathing into the belly, little longer in the hissing breath. We already got a very higher knowledge, so even couple of minutes of these breathing will help. If we have really assimilated that knowledge. Continue breathing into the belly. It's a little longer in the hissing breath. You understand, belly expands during inhalation and contracts or squeezes inside during exhalation. You are breathing into the belly, contraction and expansion. Om Shanti continues, steadiness continues, and over you find if the resistance is there, you endure it. And in that endurance, you will discover there is a joy of doing it. The mind says, now I will continue to do it come what may. So that lifts the mind. You rise in awareness. Because you rise in awareness, that represents the purity of the mind. And you stop this breathing, pay attention to the flow of the breath through both the nostrils. If one flow is less, you pay attention there. And still you are aware of both the flow. And you will discover within few seconds the flow from both the nostrils become equal. So then you need to be aware. You cannot maintain the flow equal. That is a manifestation of the higher mental state. That I cannot do it physically or through the practice. A simple awareness works here. And if you can extend that period of awareness of the flow of the breath, means what? Your mind gets absorbed. It enjoys being aware of the flow of the breath. And that gives rise to a new experiences of visions and the colors. So that is how the mind gets absorbed at this stage. Or you may find as if the body is squeezed within. Means the prana is going within. Prana is left, pushing the mind outside on imagined happiness. We'll understand that these are the subtle aspects. And in that, because you have done this flow of the breath, means the mind and the prana are all going together, and that is the right time to drop Om Shanti on the 16 segments of your fingers without physically touching. So how I explain, no, not touching physically, it's the mind's touch. It's the mind's ear, it's the mind's eye, it's the mind's tongue that says Om Shanti, and you minds looks at the first segment and you feel the pranic flow in the form of a sensation. And that is where that is where you consciously experience that now you are working on the mind. I told you again, I'm repeating, Treat your life with the intellect means discernment and dispassion, not with delusion and duality. Delusion and duality? I'm treating my life with the mind, with the heart, so called. So, should I not love myself? Yes, out of discernment and dispassion, the pure emotion will flow, devoid of emotional dependence. So, don't worry about it. You simply follow discernment and dispassion, the love will naturally outflow. Just like a drop of water falls and it expands, the same way when you are dropping Om Shanti mentally, you feel that expansion through the energy, through the sensation. And it is so beautiful experience. But it comes by regular practice, my friends. Now is the time to drop this. Visualize or see the equilateral triangle in the cave of your heart of any color pointing upward. Move the mind on each side of a triangle, just dropping Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. On each side of a triangle, clockwise and anti-clockwise. So all the previous steps are done to have a uniformity in the flow of the mind, means my level of awareness. And when you find that you are able to sync Om Shanti with the movement of the mind and the side of a triangle, that is the time you sing mentally, loudly in your mind. And with that Om, you are pushing the mind deep inside the cave of your heart. Mentally, you are saying it. And somewhere in between, you find the mind seems to stop. That is the point. You say Shanti and stay there. Kind of self absorption. So, that idea, that flow, that experience, that awareness of mind seemingly stop, mind cannot stop. So, that seemingly stop is a reflection of that consciousness. That is what we are searching for. There is nothingness, you see, that kind of a nothingness we want. We don't want an imagined nothingness. So it is another imagined desire. In every desire, we have an imagined content. Where is the meaning of self absorption? Mind loses the objectivity, it becomes a transparent mirror. Hmm? Yeah, these are the subtle areas we are going to understand in our lessons. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your Buddha palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences, bring the hands down. You see, those who are absent, they are fulfilling their sub-desires. Is it not a fact? Tell me. That is why they are absent. The Stephen lost the internet connection. He attends, I don't want to say. So are you David and Jerry?
Okay, thank you. That was really amazing. I don't want to call it a lecture, but the talk was just like taking zillions of pieces of information and time and just condensing it down. For me, I'm a formula guy, probably a little like Dennis, and that just sort of really translated really well to me. So it's the sub desires, just exponentially dilute the happiness. Very fascinating. So consequently, I had a very detached meditation.
Beautiful. You start living that kind of a life and you are free. You are free. So we are not inflated, when some desire in the world is fulfilled, we maintain the calmness. We maintain that poise. We have to, at last, we have to live in the world. So that is why I said we have to live our life with the discernment and dispassion, not with the heart. The moment you start living with the heart and the mind will go back to these 9 factors, then the world is suffering. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good, thank you. Yeah, it was a very smooth, peaceful, the watching of the mind, the observing of the mind. One thing that came to me, or a takeaway from it, was that we only want freedom from the mind. So we only want that when the mind doesn't understand who am I. But when the mind knows who am I, then the mind is our best friend, and we don't want freedom from it, because it just represents all the love and the truth and the peace and the compassion. And
that's a beautiful another way to explain it. So, every talk gives you a deeper insight based on your level of evolution, the way your mind moves. Because when you have understood that no desire outside can bring the peace and happiness, that is the meaning that now you are working on the mind. And when you are working on the mind, it is done. That mind is a transparent mind, reflects the real self instead of reflecting the desire. Yes, David has already explained that he is a mathematical guy. What about you, Dennis?
Thank you. The takeaway for me today is that the sense of happiness from any fulfilled desire is obscured by multiplicity of sub-desires that are caused by original desire. That is to summarize what I have understood. And also another thing that resonated with me when you said that I have to treat my life with intellect and treat the lives of others with the heart. That's a very deep guidance for me. That also, well, I think I understood it. Maybe I have to contemplate further on it. As far as the meditation, it was seamless and comfortable, and with absorption and the focus on the space at the end.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, you have to contemplate. When I say that you have to treat others, every event, every person with love, respect, with an idea of being a contributor. Don't become the consumer. So the heart, when I treat others from the heart, being a consumer, 9 factors. I'm going to suffer. When I treat everyone by my heart, means that love and respect, let me become a contributor. You are angry, okay, you are angry, you're upset. Let me know why you are angry. Can I get you rid of that? Can I change myself? You move with that clarity. So behind that, behind treating others with the heart, there is a discernment and dispassion. I'm making it clear. Yes, you told me that you have to contemplate and reflect. So behind that, there is always a sense of No, my son, and the daughter-in-law, they are living in LA. They are paying a huge amount on the rent, and they have left this house here for me. No, no, we are not going to disturb you in any way. So, is it not my responsibility to be a contributor? No, no, that is your house. Now, to Jerry, I was asking the Jerry a couple of months before, is there any house that my daughter can buy? Daughter bought a big house in New Jersey, and she now says that now you have to come and stay with me. That sense of, because if your behavior and attitude is good, it is going to bring the result. You need not to worry. If you don't have a house, you have many houses. How are you, Brandy? Your journey to where you are living is also proves that equation. I was thinking.
It does. It absolutely does. And I think, your talk today points to the things that we think we can control, like the car we drive or where we live, or even the things that we can't control, like what season it is. I've told you I have a preference, right? I like warmer, sunnier weather, but none of it ultimately is where we find our peace. I'm not a math guy like these other guys on the call today, but I do understand that. And I get tripped up is when I think something outside is going to fix this.
Yes,
so
yes.
Thank you.
That is how we have to evolve. There are many mathematical formulas I have created, but we will take up one by after the other. How are you, Christina?
I'm good, thank you. I'm also not a good mathematician, but you helped me to understand math today in a way I hadn't before, and that I also understand why it is I get tripped up based on the subdivisions. And it links to last week also, keeping the main goal in mind, to be in peace and happiness. And I just, something really clicked much deeper today about that and how to bring that into moment to moment.
Yeah, that's really good. Oh, whatever couple of messages you have written now, those problems can easily be solved by understanding this equation. And everyone has studied the equation in primary, middle class in the high school. It's not a big deal. I said 2 plus 8, left side, and then 3 plus 7 on the right side. Prove it. So, in mathematics, the problem and the answer is already given. Understand that. So, in Eastern wisdom, when we are talking of the problem, the answer is already there. I have to prove it. I have to prove it in my life, not others' life. How are you, Terry?
I'm fine. I didn't take to the mathematical explanation, but the point I think I already
Got it.
had experienced, because anytime you do anything, you have something, then the next thing.
Yes, these are the sub-desires.
You never get there unless you just stop.
And
so
Terry, we never stop. That is why the entire life is suffering. We never stop.
Right. So I guess it becomes irrelevant to get the next thing.
Yes.
You just have to.
That is why I say, treat your life with the discernment and dispassion. Treat others' life with your pure heart.
Mm-hmm.
And the life is always beautiful. You think that you have this physical problem. How my mind had the same feeling when I had the cold and cough. It is the same feeling this body is creating the problem, which you had a feeling of the body. It is only a difference of labels. Label says you have this problem, label says I have this problem, but the feeling, that emotion, those sub-desires are the same. Once we understand that, we can transcend the body. And once you transcend the body, you find the real self. So my friends, more equations are going to come. That is all for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Namaste.
you.
Namaste.
Namaste.